Chris, present the socks.
Motherfucker.
We ready.
We take a second take on that. Make sure my pants are up.
Yeah, sure, we can do this. Oh no, I kind of like the dramatic reveal.
That's the take.
I kind
Motherfucker.
of like the dramatic reveal of it was like, what kind of socks are there? Chip and Dale socks, motherfucker. All right, so
also the fuck up kind of adds to the comedy of the moment. So
All right.
take it.
so
Very
hi
in spirit
everybody.
with how this film would go.
We're here to talk about probably one of the more bizarre films we've seen this year.
I mean, it's pretty bizarre in general. This is really kind of a special circumstance.
Yeah. I will say
So-
I was coming in here fully expecting this to suck ass because the trailers just made it look like Space Jam 2 or Ready Player One.
I got a bit
It
more
is
vibe out
not
of it.
that at all.
No.
Oh my god.
Like this is closer to like the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, if anything.
That actually, I actually enjoyed that. That was decent.
Yeah, no,
I would
not
say
as
this
best
is better.
made out to be.
This
But-
is more like Roger Rabbit 2 with what they were trying to do.
Kind of literally, considering that it kind of makes it clear that this is technically a sequel.
Yeah.
It's technically a sequel to a lot of things by that logic, though.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so we want to definitely be mindful of spoilers. I know there's like spoilers online, but a lot of this movie,
Oh my god.
a lot of personal enjoyment was had out of just reveals of references and characters and just really brilliant comedic bits having to do with all kinds of callbacks. And
I was not
stuff.
spoiled on anything.
Nice. I was spoiled on a lot of things, unfortunately, but
And you still laughed.
I still laughed. Like, no, like it's
Yeah.
like I only got spoiled like on two major plot beats, like who the villain is, because there's a kind of whole controversy behind that. We can talk about that later. I think it's not a big deal, but whatever, it is what it is.
Okay,
I'm unaware.
whether it would be a controversy, but yeah, we'll get into
It's about like what happened to the real life actor.
we'll get into that. We'll
Yeah.
get. Oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Chris knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I don't. So
But so anyway, we'll get to that later. But for the time being, this is I mean, really think about this, technically a reboot of a reboot, because Chip and Dale was kind of like a revitalization of those characters at the time when the show came out back in like what, the 90s?
And the show was also supposed to be a sequel to The Rescuers.
Yes, that is true, because the second one took off more than they thought it would. So it was really supposed to be a Rescuers movie, but then they wanted to just rebrand a lot of stuff with traditional Disney characters. That's why I threw Chip and Dale in there.
yeah.
So that's how we got the Rescue Rangers, and now we got like another kind of weird reboot to that reboot. With the I guess it's just called Rescue Rangers, which is an extremely meta Lonely Island comedy.
Yeah, it's the whole meta nature of this thing is pretty cool. They do it's not like it's a gimmick that hasn't been done to take a movie that you know, it's like let's take the real actors and make them like be resistant to a reboot, but also in real life have them
I mean, even just last year,
and essentially do a reboot anyways.
with
Like,
the last year, we had Matrix Resurrections and the new Scream.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, a requel, if you will.
Yeah, so this kind of meta shift has been gaining some steam.
Yeah, but it's to be fair, each time has been pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah,
Like,
this is no exception.
I know we all are of pretty similar opinions on how good Scream and the Matrix Resurrections were. I know some people aren't, but it's okay. They're allowed to be wrong. This is America. But yeah, this is arguably the most successful out of all of them so far, I think.
That I've personally seen. Yeah. I think this one has a pretty good idea of what it is and knows what it wants to hit. It's not trying to change the game. It's not trying to shift anything around. It's more like, hey, we're going to throw a bunch of toys in a toy bin, shake it up really hard, and see what comes out.
Yeah.
And it's a good chunk of the movie. So a lot of the joy you get out of this is mostly just like how many references you get, which can be a weakness in and of itself. But that being said, the characters and the writing is fun enough that you can kind of even.
I feel like
carry it.
not every single one, but most of the references were a joke.
Yeah.
Like there was a
lot
setup
more,
and
yeah.
a punchline and delivery. Yeah. Which
And
is
I was
more
impressed some of the references are not children's references.
Dude, so in the background right
Pretty
now,
impressive.
in that Disney Afternoon Fight Fest, they have fucking Snookums and Meats. That's who that teal dog is. That's their failed Ren and Stimpy clone.
Wow. Okay.
That's the shit they're pulling from.
I didn't even know that. So, but
well, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's just the poster from Disney Afternoon.
Afternoon Fight Fest?
They just rechanged the title at the bottom, but I'm pretty sure it's the same poster.
I don't know, because I feel like DuckTales would be front and center, not Rescue Rangers.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's tweaked, but that itself could
Yeah.
just be a reference to that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's a lot of things in here. I think like a lot of deep cut references that are in movies that do them well, this does does it the right way, where they're kind of just there, and if you notice them and you get them, it's an extra treat, and it's just fucking packed to the gills with them, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's one scene in particular which, without spoiling anything, takes place at like a comic book convention sort of thing, except not just for comic books, you know. And there's so many little things tossed in the background, from the cosplay that people have to like different stands that you see and different characters that show up just in passing, and it's all of the jokes, all of it, like Lonely Island at this point is very seasoned with their comedy. So they know what they're doing with their comedic timing, and all the way from just like basic ass slapstick to just little character moments, and no joke overstays its welcome. They know that the trick to making a movie like this work is, instead of hammering on one joke over and over and over again, or just like really extending something too far, they just go quick hit and run with all of these different sequences, and it's just this barrage of ridiculous comedy, and it's fantastic. It works great.
So I was looking it up. Lonely Island are not credited as writers for this, which is
right. You were mentioning.
I have a feeling they wrote this. I have to double check, but it was not any of the Lonely Island people. So what I'm assuming is that they got this script and they, basically. Like, I'm sure the general story beat wasn't necessarily theirs, but like the dialogue, the just little character bits, like it's all just from their sketches. So I'm wondering if they rewrote more of this than they're giving credit for.
Probably. Okay, so Dan Greger is one of the writers, and he has some really great credits, like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and he was on Upright Citizens Brigade.
Okay.
How I Met Your Mother. He wrote 52 episodes. Mileage may vary depending on how much you like that show.
It does explain the style of humor, though, to be fair.
But he did write a couple of pretty serious duds, including Doolittle.
Oh, God.
The recent one?
The Robert Downey Jr. one?
Oh, yeah, the real bad one.
Oh, good lord.
Bland as fuck.
And to be fair, that was like a 5 script smash into one.
Yeah, that I don't think that was their fault. And the other guy collaborated with him on pretty much everything. So, yeah. But yeah, as a fucking huge fan of a Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, I'm okay with this.
Awesome.
I will definitely forgive them for Doolittle being the clusterfuck that it was, because they made Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. That's definitely that's forgivable. But yeah, outside of that, like the actual movie itself, this script is really solid. It benefits a lot from the chemistry between John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. And Akiva Schaffer's just a really great comedic director at this point.
Yeah.
I know that early on, like some of their works were kind of hit and miss.
Also, they don't.
Like, well, if you go way back to like Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Hot Rod was okay. It has its funny moments, but overall the tone kind of falls flat. But if you go back to like
Pop Star,
they also directed The Watch. But like, a lot of people forget that The Lonely Island was in charge of a lot of the best bits of SNL for a whole era of SNL.
Yeah.
And you bring that back around and get to the point where they directed Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping, which is legitimately one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Michael, you remember that?
Oh yeah, Pop Star was great.
Yeah,
that was the one we didn't see coming, and we just laughed our ass off.
Yeah, we reviewed that back in 2016, and this does feel like it has some of that DNA.
Yeah,
it has that kind of manic directing style and that really good fast pace of jokes, really good comedic timing. Like it's just a legitimately funny movie.
But it's definitely a movie that's designed like be rewatched more than one, just so you're like, ooh, that like I didn't see that the first time I watched it, and that kind
Absolutely.
of stuff.
We paused and jumped back quite a few times just to like pause on certain screens where clearly there's a bunch of stuff just thrown.
Well, you see, that's what they want you to do with Space Jam 2 and Ready Player One, but nobody's gonna fucking do that. You know?
Yeah,
because that's weird.
But for this, we stopped like every time there's a huge ensemble scene. You know.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Metacritic reviews. And one of them said, reminiscent of the Happy Time murders, but actually watchable.
Yeah, it's a pretty good description.
Damn, that's reviews done. Wow.
Yeah, that's surprisingly solid. Also, this hilariously meta reboot is everything the recent Space Jam sequel desperately attempted but failed to be.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Another fucking accurate thing. Like,
it's a lot of fun. I mean, I think it's really boils down to it's a lot of fun, especially if you grew up in that time and you you watched all those shows. You took all that like media in the 90s and early 2000s. Like that's all what it is. And I don't really think kids will like this, but I feel like it's not aimed for kids.
No, it's not for kids. It's aimed for people our age.
Yeah. And there's so many things about it that like is perfectly aware of that. Like there are not just references to more adult like franchises that only adults would know. Like there's a blink and you miss it kind of reference to Ah Real Monsters from Nickelodeon. Like, no kid today knows.
And Jimmy Neutron, which is like, who remembers that show?
Yeah. So like there's references to that kind of stuff, but also just humor that's really like kind of dark. There's a Terminator reference at one point. Just like really low key. It's a musical cue mostly, but it's there. And if you know it, it's just a great moment. They do.
I think some of the sardonic dialogue when Peter Pan's reunited with one of the Lost Boys. You got old. Yeah, well,
death comes for us all.
Death comes for us all.
Which isn't a spoiler. He's in the trailer.
I didn't see that trailer.
It's like a blinking you missing shot, but he's in the trailer.
That's fine, whatever. But there's just it's a good it's great.
It's really hard to talk about without going into spoilers. It really is.
Yeah. Let's. I think that's as much as we could say without spoiling the movie.
I think so too. Yeah.
I can only really say stuff while going into spoilers at this
spoiler
point.
warning.
Spoiler warning from here on out. You know the drill.
Yeah.
How did they get so many of these? I guess they did it with Roger Rabbit, but
like
some of them are like XBs where they're like the bootleg version, so you get it. But at the end, like that's just the fucking Transformers. They had the My Little Ponies in there.
I mean, Voltron. Like fan convention, like
Batman versus E.T.
Batman versus E.T. was the first big one where we were like, how did they do this? Because fine. Just
Ugly Sonic.
Ugly Sonic moment was.
It's not a joke. Like he's essential to the fucking story.
Yeah,
I think they got away with Ugly Sonic because they changed him just enough to be different. So it doesn't
call him Ugly Sonic though.
Yeah, but still technically not copyrighted by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, Sonic showed up in Wreck-It Ralph, so I'm sure Sega was cool with it. But Paramount's, like, I'm worried or wondering how they got that with Paramount.
At this point, Paramount's hanging on to loose strings. They're not going to fight Disney.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Paramount Plus is actually doing decently well.
Is it?
They got a lot of decent content.
Well,
at least high budget stuff.
All of the Star Trek except DS9 got removed from Netflix, and it's solely on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah,
so I guess if you really want to watch the Halo TV show, you can go get Paramount Plus. But
I think Peacock's having a harder time than Paramount Plus.
I believe.
What is even on Peacock?
Boss Baby,
AP Bio.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Wait, AP Bio, isn't that the Glenn Howerton show that fucking bombed?
Well, the first season kind of sucks, but there was something about it that
okay, and it gets better the next
watching
season.
It. And the second season it's one of those things where it really hits its stride and it understands its strengths and it starts actually banking on the things that it should be, which is how fucking funny these kids are. And the kids get more confident, so their humor gets a lot better.
Good.
And season 2 of AP Bio is great.
And speaking of Paramount Plus, fucking Randy from South Park.
Yeah, I didn't even see Randy. I missed that.
They're in the bathhouse and they're going through
that's
like the Raptors in the bathhouse, and fucking Randy's just sitting there half naked.
Yeah, it just in the sauna. But that's what I'm wondering. There were multiple things from there that were just from Warner Brothers and HBO.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like they just kind of deal with them at some point.
Yeah, there was clearly like, because they had Batman, they had Stan, and
like the He-Man show up
He-Man at some and point. Skeletor.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that's definitely like straight up just the kind of stuff that would be on HBO right now. But
now it's on here, and they're fucking around in the FanCon. So
yeah.
I think we should talk about the big controversy. I think it's one of those things that people are kind of picking apart to be mad about.
Sure.
And because if you guys don't know, like, people only found out about this after the movie came out, and now they're being formally mad about it. But I guess the whole Peter Pan being the villain thing has rubbed some people the wrong way because of how the real life actor was treated.
What do you think about that?
He was a child actor in the 50s. That says it all.
He was a child actor in the 50s, and Disney basically had just ditched him when he got too old. And then he kind of died horrifically, like in his, I think, early 30s or something like that. They didn't even find his body for like a year in like an abandoned warehouse somewhere. And so a lot of people are saying that having his origin be like Peter Pan, but he got abandoned by Disney is a bit in poor taste. But I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah, the joke is that Peter Pan's the boy who never grew up, and
he grew up.
Because he grew up. Yeah.
Which is that's obviously the joke. That's obviously the intention. But
it's just very unfortunate that happened to me.
Okay, I honestly, just from what I know about the people behind this movie, just knowing their track record with the stuff that they've made and knowing what I know about the Lonely Island as people, like,
there's no way that was intentional.
They wouldn't joke about that deliberately.
Like, no, I don't think so either. So this is one of the things
I have a hard time believing that.
I think it's just people looking for reasons to be angry,
rather than like a correlation between the sad concept of, child stars being used up and thrown to the side by the industry, which is just kind of normal, versus an actual really tragic story. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that they willfully did that.
I don't think so either. And especially since the big draw is the fact that, they make you sympathize with him. But the difference is then he started to do bad things, and that's why he's the villain. He's not the villain because Disney abandoned him.
Sure.
So I don't know. It's one of those controversies. And I'm not saying if people feel like it's feel uncomfortable by that, I can see that. That's relatively fair. But people saying they did this on purpose as a sly casual remark. What are you doing? I am so suspicious right now.
Everything's fine.
I am so suspicious.
I know what he's got.
What did you have?
He definitely grabbed Blu-ray for his favorite movie of all time.
What did you grab?
Which was also referenced in the film. Am I right?
No.
Damn.
No.
Also, that would have been a really good guess, though.
Yeah.
Also, Chris, they, them. Pronoun check.
I apologize.
No big deal. You just gotta say, hey, you're right. I'm sorry. Move on.
Yep.
Not that big a deal, fucking internet audience.
Apparently, if you're people I talk to, if you disagree, you're Hitler or something like that. Whatever.
Everything I disagree with is Hitler.
That's what it was. Yep. Someone made a fun Photoshop of me today. I've been giggling about it all day. Everything.
I mean,
Hitler. Everything I don't like is Hitler. A child's guide to online political discussion.
Well, I mean, isn't it technically fan art?
Hate fan art. I don't know.
That's the best kind.
I mean,
that's how you know you're making it,
dude. That's a new level.
Oh no, that's what I put on my I have an online group on Discord. I just put up, was like, so someone made this for me today. So I think what this means, I'm close to success in entertainment.
It's definitely a milestone. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I feel honored. I haven't felt this way since someone called me a fascist for the first time. That was a big day.
I want my 20% of that picture.
Sure, buddy. I'll make you an NFT copy.
That's an oxymoron.
You caught me.
See what you did there. Anyway, yeah, there is a Cats reference in the movie.
But now I'm very, very suspicious what you got now.
I don't.
Put it on your lap. What is it?
Okay.
It's nothing. Jeez. Now I feel like I should grab something just to fucking appease you guys.
Well, I kind of want you to.
What were you saying, Michael?
I was gonna say, and like, can we just talk about just? I can't believe I'm saying this phrase out loud, but the use of Seth Rogen in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so from the trailers, when they had him do the Seth Rogen laugh as Pumbaa, you're like, oh, okay. But then it's like an XP for every single character he voiced just comes in and just it was lame, but then they just like ran with it so confidently.
But they doubled down on it. Yeah. That's why it works. It's not just him as Pumbaa. It's him as the cricket from Kung Fu Panda. It's him as whatever the fuck else was it. What was the other one?
That blob
from Monsters and Aliens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All just laughing at his dumb, like Beowulf style character.
The new Lion King Pumbaa.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. There's a lot of like little touches like that you just kind of like sit back and like, I appreciate that. That's so dumb, and I love it.
The one thing that really got me is Tigra.
Yeah.
From that
like the original Avengers.
United cartoon. They Stand. United They Stand. Or United We Stand.
Something
it was the culmination of all the 90s Fox Kids Marvel shows.
Like it was the very
original. They propped that up as their Justice League cartoon, and it fucking bombed.
Yeah, it was bad.
So pulling her in there as like one of the wash-up characters, it's like, wow, that's a fucking reference.
Yeah,
wow.
There's a lot of things they put in this movie that are just deep cuts.
Yeah,
surprisingly deep cuts.
Like there's parts where he's pausing. It's like, wait, is that? Is that? Like I caught a. I don't know if this is intentional, but I caught a fucking Black Sad reference in this.
Well, I mean, they animated it. It was definitely intentional.
I mean, like Black Sad is like a noir detective. He doesn't wear the samurai outfit, but like. I'm still the cat looked exactly the same.
Gotta be. That's like stuff like there's a pattern in this movie where they are illustrating and animating things in the same style as the thing that they're referencing. There's no way that it can look the same and be the same animation style and not be an actual reference. Like
the one reference like that really just caught me, like who the fuck stopped and thought about that to put it in, was a Snork. Okay, kind of like knockoff Smurfs. There are Smurf references in here, but the Snork dressed as Lucky Luke. What? Do either of you guys know who Lucky Luke is or what that is?
I recognize the suit a little bit.
I love your dismay here.
It's a Belgian comic series that was contemporaneous to Asterix.
Wow. That's
what the fuck? Like who stopped and said like, you know what, I'm gonna put Lucky Luke in here because it's the exact same costume, cowboy hat, and everything. Like,
very very quick
what
reference
the hell?
To Kingdom Hearts. God, what else? Like, I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much to dig into. If you
combined Naruto and Master Roshi at the end.
But more importantly,
that was pretty funny.
These references are fun for us because we grew up in the era that was popular and we get all of it. But none of it overshadows the story or the characters.
Oh yeah.
Which is the most which is why
it's all in service to the story.
Yeah, like it serves as like if you catch it, great. If you don't, it's not going to make a difference.
You understand that these are weird, forgotten B-list characters.
Yeah. But my point is like for other movies that try to do the same thing, like Space Jam 2 or Ready Player One, whereas like those references do overpower the story because movie is banking on you going, ooh, look at that thing, look at that thing,
it's fucking Mechagodzilla.
And they do the thing where they're like, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Don't you know this thing? You love this because it has the thing you love.
But, and like, this movie still does that to an extent, but it's more like, but also here's like John Mulaney and Andy Samberg just like having like actual good character arcs and having good chemistry and being enjoyable to watch. And the story working.
I have a friend who kind of refuses to watch this because he doesn't like the way that they're mixing the animation styles. And I'm like, dude, you're missing the point. And you're missing out, definitely. And having watched
it looked better than the trailers, except for Gadget. Gadget had total dead eyes.
Yeah.
I thought Gadget looked pretty good.
Look is good. But it worked. And I don't know. I was kind of surprised because initially, you have that moment of horror at seeing CG Dale, like that's, it's just jarring initially. But by the end of the movie, I got totally fucking used to it. And it works better than you think it does, especially when you see the context of the rest of the movie and the rest of the world and the way that they use that, especially when they go into the Uncanny Valley area, like all the little jokes about that whole section.
Oh, the fucking guy just like
walking
stuck on the border of the fire hydrant, stuck in his walk cycle. And it's not just that, like there's, puppetry. The best one is when the officers, it's just a sock puppet just comes on.
I was just going to bring that up. Yep. Like, it's a blink and you miss it. Just the claymation sergeant is all of a sudden a sock puppet shows up because like, hey, sir, we can't find this. And this leaves and we never see him again. Never see him again.
Just, they knew that they couldn't, if they were going to go in with mixing animation and live actions, like, let's just go for every fucking style. Stop motion, puppetry.
And it's not cheap either. Like, they got some details in some of this. Like, when they go into Main Street and they have all the cartoon characters there, when they actually have, like, the knockoff Swedish chef who just sells cheese, the part where they even have, like, they design the puppet so his eyebrows
would, like, yeah.
It's like, I just appreciate little touches like that.
Yeah. No, it's really astonishing how much work they put into doing this, right? It's kind of amazing. Man.
So, yeah. I can't think of anything. Do you guys? I had a really good time with this. I really had a lot of fun.
I thought it was pretty good. It's great.
It's a fun time. Like,
the other thing is, Michael, the last couple movies we saw that were about this long felt 3 times their length.
Yeah.
This one, it's just its act structure. Just every single beat just comes right when it needs to. Nothing overstays its welcome. Yep. Hello, Kitty.
It's well paced. It's really well. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It knows how to keep it moving at all times and knows when to drop little things in there to keep you laughing. And it definitely works for people with ADHD because they're like, ooh, just looking at all kinds of stuff all over the place. Like
me.
Right. It's a really well-made movie. Just don't overanalyze it. Just have a good time. It's just a silly, crazy little comedy with a lot of fun little jokes. And yeah, I 100% enjoyed this.
Yeah, we all had a good time, and it's a lot better than Firestarter.
Consistently laughed throughout the whole movie, like consistently had jokes land,
and they were real laughs too.
I was watching Chris slowly melt over the course of this movie because you could tell at the beginning he was just like, I want to hate this fucking thing. I am expecting to hate this fucking thing, and then the more I kind of want to like laugh like hesitantly at first, and then by the end,
it totally bought me in. I was totally skeptical about going into this. Like, yeah, this is probably going to be just okay at best. No, it's pretty damn good.
It beats Scott's for being a fucking Rescue Rangers movie.
I just love the little moments of things in the background, like the posters and stuff, like the Senator Butthead fucking bus bench ad that was there. Like,
it's kind of like
Mr. Doubtfire starring Meryl Streep, and it just
Matilda Reloaded,
photoshopped with like a bald head, just like.
This reminds me of Teen Titans Goes to the Movies, oddly enough.
Actually, yeah.
You said that was surprisingly good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and just like if you look in the background as they're going through the WB lot, you see just a bunch of random shit, like a Bugs Bunny, Dr. Manhattan amalgamation. Point. And it's like just a gigantic frame portrait of Henry Cavill with the mustache.
Yes. Good shit.
Right.
But yeah, great time.
One closing question for both of you. Who are y'all maining in Disney Afternoon Fight Fest?
Dude, Goliath.
Yeah, I think I'm a Goliath man, but I gotta rep my boys, Chip and Dale, and then a pocket Scrooge, just for counterpicking.
I feel like if I didn't go with Goliath because he's the obvious choice, I'd probably go with Darkwing Duck because he's my boy.
Fair enough.
That was my
Goliath
show.
and Darkwing Duck just feel like a good take themselves too seriously duo, but I would just love to see pairing like someone really ridiculous with someone really serious, and I think Goliath and Goofy would be
fuck yeah,
a really good pairing. Just to what if we did like a Marvel vs. Capcom thing where it's just like 3 characters?
Yeah, I'd say poor Tailspin Blue is going to stay in bottom tier. It's going to be blue tier. Nobody wants fucking Tailspin Blue.
Aw.
Wow. All right, just shoot that down. I'll take Goliath, Darkwing Duck, and mix it up. Let's go Timon.
All right, so
I think Chip and Dale would have come as a pair, like
like ice climbers.
Ice climbers, yeah. Same with Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Oh yeah, they're a trio for sure.
But God, I would play the shit out of this because
like that multiverses game.
Yeah,
now that like all the footage is coming out,
dude.
it actually looks really fun.
Yeah,
like, you can tell that
the
they
guys
know
who
what
made
they're
Slap
doing.
City, and it's supposed to be really good.
And
Now
they
those
they
Nick
leaned into the fucking Shaggy meme, which I appreciate.
Yeah, so that looks fun. Nick All Stars is bare bones, but it's fun when you actually get matches with people.
You know what I would have to do is actually, I would have to go with basically the 3 that I chose already. It would be Goliath, Darkwing Duck, and Goofy. Because Goofy would pull some straight up like Looney Tunes shit.
Goofy has a busted 0 frame hyper grab level 3, and you know it. He just grabs and goes on the disco floor.
I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, they're gonna make Goofy the one character that just has like ridiculously overpowered moveset because they know nobody will pick him.
Gosh, Maxie, you gotta watch your frame data. Yuck.
I feel like they're gonna do like that one. Like Abu makes sense because he would just have like no frame rates you can actually hit.
You mean hitbox?
Hitbox, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Abu should be like just a super OP character where he.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Goliath's wings are gonna give him a huge hitbox.
That's true. He's like a tanky kind of character, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he'd have a huge hitbox, but he also have a ridiculous range.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But then
make the hurt box on the wings.
It's kind of like when somebody picks Yoda and Soul Calibur 4, you know?
Oh, fuck those people. Fuck those people.
Fuck that, but that's Abu. That's Abu right there. Also, Abu would have, that he's a little thief, right? So he'd be pulling shit out all the time.
It was like you would like a broken range attack where you just like throw things at people the entire time.
What if Abu's thing was that he could steal things from other characters and use them, and just hide them and pull them out as a special?
Or he could do like a rogue from X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Or what if
steal Scrooge's lucky dime and give yourself buffs?
What if Baloo's special power was he can crash the tailspin airplane into the stage?
Right. What if they had combo moves between characters like Max and Goofy? Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Had the Rescue Rangers, if you got all 3 of them, of course you'd have that. But if you had Chip and Dale and Tailspin Baloo, or Gadget and Tailspin Baloo, they would do an airplane combo.
I gotta say, you're selling me on justifying Baloo in this game.
Who's the little fucking bear with the
I'm telling you, don't underestimate Baloo.
That's gummy bears. Oh, dude, that fucking gummy berry juice install super. That shit's OP, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 2 skateboarders, him and Maxie. God, who's the little school teacher one with the fucking 50s?
We can't see.
Oh,
school teacher. Oh, that's also from Tailspin. I forget her name.
Thought so. Okay. I remember some of these vaguely, but I don't remember enough clearly.
I used to watch a lot of Disney Afternoon when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was a Disney Afternoon and Nick guy.
I was really big on Gargoyles.
I didn't get Cartoon Network until Adult Swim.
Yeah, same. I never had Cartoon Network as a kid.
But yeah, Gargoyles was the shit. Yo, where's fucking Demona?
Gargoyles.
Demona's not in this roster.
You don't even have the other Gargoyles here.
So Demona's not there to give the other fighters a chance. Because that bitch, Tech and Magic? she got it all.
Yeah, I think what was that one? There's a PC game that people started when Marvel vs. Capcom got big, and they're just we want this to encompass everything.
Mugen?
Yeah, Mugen.
Yeah.
And it has literally thousands of characters or something at this point
with
their own unique movesets. But yeah,
there's dozens and dozens of fan games made entirely in Mugen, and then people port those out into other versions of the other versions of Mugen.
it's like GURPS for fighting.
We all went through a Mugen phase. Don't deny it. Everybody who ever heard of Mugen got really into Mugen for a good while.
Look, I didn't have great PCs at the time, and I was a very conservative household.
It's Mugen. You don't need one. That's the appeal.
Well, I did not know that as a kid, so I was not a Mugen kid.
Do you think that this game is possible with existing Mugen stuff? Do you think people have gone crazy enough to port a shit? At least like 80% of the guys here. Do you think people in Mugen have gone crazy enough to port a shit ton of like Disney afternoon fucking characters, like Saturday morning characters?
Probably not without like earning the ire of the mouse.
Well, of course, but the whole point of something like Mugen is that it's free to play. And
I will go look this up and hit you up with my findings.
Dude, if you can hit me up with a way to make not only this game, but combine it with like all the Nickelodeon shit and all the Cartoon Network shit and all the Fox Kids shit, like the Fox Kids
shit is just Disney shit now.
Sure, but if we get Huey, Dewey, and Louie against the Rugrats, like
just punching babies.
Oh my god! So the thing that really made me laugh was because I work with kids, so I know Peppa Pig, I know Paw Patrol, and when they're talking about how they had a raid on Nick Jr., and they're talking about like the Paw Patrol got a hold of him, he'll never have kids again. Like that was so cathartic for me. Oh my god! Man.
But yeah, definitely. I would put Freakazoid versus Goofy.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. We need to make this happen with Mugen.
I'd watch that.
So yeah, no, this is worth some research.
All right. Well, I think that's wrap it up there because I need to go to bed soon.
This is a good note to end on. Let your imagination run wild.
If anyone has any links on this, put it in the comments. I will approve it.
Nice.
Thank you all for watching.
Hey, if we put together this game, we should do like
a live
stream of us playing it against each other.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right.
I would
Got
love
the stick right here. Fucking see me.
Chris is that guy.
Yeah, let's go.
I bring my own paintball gun. Anyway,
I did.
Yeah. No, but seriously, if you'd be interested in that fucking stream, like drop a comment. Yeah.
If you find it exists.
If you've watched this far of the review, I'm sure you have some vague interest in that kind of thing. So
all right.
Meantime, thank you all for watching. See you later.
Peace out.